Hi, I'm Sean Bridgman, and stay tuned for Horses and Courses.
Welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We've had a busy weekend of stakes racing, and we're going to start out in South Florida at Calder with a pair of stakes races for 2-year-olds, beginning with 2-year-old fillies in the Brave Raj Breeders' Cup. This is for 2-year-old fillies going 1 mile and 70 yards. Let's head back to Saturday at the Brave Raj.
And they're off. Good start for Frolicking along the inside. A Sea Trippy comes out running in good order. Prospect of Love is right there with Good Intentions. Lake Alice on the extreme outside. The early trailers are Kathy's Escola and Mia's Reflection as the fillies make their way into the first turn. It's Frolicking showing the way. Doesn't look like they're going all that fast out there. Frolicking just galloping along. She leads it over a length from a Sea Trippy. Lake Alice is forced 3 wide on the turn. Good Intentions saving ground, some 2.5 lengths off the lead. Then Prospect of Love. The trailers remain Mia's Reflection and Kathy's Escola. The opening quarter went in 24-1, and Eddie Castro has Frolicking freewheeling on the front end. Frolicking not going all that fast, but unpressured. She still leads it almost a length. A Sea Trippy is right there off her flank, and Lake Alice remains in third. She's losing ground now on the outside as Good Intentions goes through from the rail. In behind them is Prospect of Love. She's close enough if good enough, only 3.5 lengths back. Mia's Reflection trying to get in gear from the back of the pack, and Kathy's Escola is losing ground. Into the far turn, a Sea Trippy coming up to the outside of Frolicking now. Frolicking the inside, a Sea Trippy the outside. These two right together, and they accelerate and have opened up 4 lengths now on Prospect of Love. Mia's Reflection is starting to get in gear, and now she's into third and coming after the leaders. A Sea Trippy is going better than Frolicking. She'll have to hold off Mia's Reflection. Top of the lane, here comes Mia's Reflection at a Sea Trippy. A Sea Trippy, Mia's Reflection, they come down the lane. Mia's Reflection the outside, and Manuel Cruz. A Sea Trippy and Sebastian Madrid trying to hang tough from the rail, but Mia's Reflection has a Sea Trippy with a 16th to go, and Mia's Reflection will draw off and win the Brave Raj. Mia's Reflection 1.5 lengths from Sea Trippy, then Prospect of Love and Good Intentions.
Mia's Reflection picking up her second consecutive victory after breaking her maiden in the Lindsay Frolic Stakes on Labor Day down at Calder. She wins by 2 at 4-1 over a Sea Trippy, with Prospect of Love rallying from far back off the pace with a bit of a middle move to finish in the third spot. Favored in the field was the early pace setter Frolicking, who showed the way in the early going. The fractions not all that fast, but she did fade and finish 6th in the field of 7. The winner, Mia's Reflection, a dark Bayer Brown 2-year-old daughter of Halo's Image from Mia's Hope by Rexon's Hope, was bred in Florida by Harold Rose, owned by the Rose family stable and trained by Barry Rose, ridden to victory by Manny Cruz. Mia's Reflection covers the 1 mile and 70 at Calder in 1:47 flat. We're going to head right back to Calder now in the running of the Foolish Pleasure Breeders' Cup once again for 2-year-olds. Let's head back to Calder and the running of the Foolish Pleasure.
And they're off in the Foolish Pleasure. Blazing Rate broke right on the money and heads out for the lead. From the inside is Our Loyal Man. Rehoboth is a close-up third. In behind them, to Broken Speed. Tizzy's No Saint now in front of that one. Thanks W has one beaten at this point, and that is Weekend Weather, who's well off the rail as they go into the clubhouse turn. Our Loyal Man takes the lead out there, and he's well off the rail. Our Loyal Man about a 1/2 length. Rehoboth right there on his outside. Tizzy's No Saint, to Broken Speed. Blazing Rate now back up into third as they go to the back stretch. Thanks W only has about 4.5 to make up. It's another 5 lengths back to the trailer, Weekend Weather. They went the opening quarter in a solid 23-4. It's Our Loyal Man showing the way, and Rehoboth is right there on his outside. Down on the rail to Broken Speed, close enough if good enough. He's only 1.5 lengths off the pace. Between horses, Tizzy's No Saint and Blazing Rate is up on his outside. These first 5 well bunched and just covered by about 2.5 lengths. It's 3 back now to Thanks W, who has to do a little bit better than this. Weekend Weather still last as they go to the far turn. 1/2 mile went in 48-2. through, and there's room at the rail for DeBroken Speed, and he takes advantage. Here comes DeBroken Speed. The maiden takes the lead around the far turn. Rehoboth trying to go with him. Blazing Rate is circling up 4 wide, and he looks very dangerous. Tizzy's No Saint in with a shot if he can find a way through. Top of the lane in the Foolish Pleasure. Blazing Rate, DeBroken Speed, Tizzy's No Saint. It's Blazing Rate who takes the lead. DeBroken Speed hanging tough from the inside. Tizzy's No Saint not doing enough. Neither is Rehoboth, and it's down to Blazing Rate and DeBroken Speed. Blazing Rate going better than DeBroken Speed, and Blazing Rate will win it. Blazing Rate wins the 2005 Foolish Pleasure. DeBroken Speed second, then Tizzy's No Saint and Rehoboth.
Blazing Rate and Carlos Penalba by 2 as the favorite over Long Shot, DeBroken Speed, with Tizzy's No Saint sitting just off the early pace, angling to the rail in the far turn, but not quite enough to keep up with the top 2. The winner, Blazing Rate, is a chestnut 2-year-old son of Exchange Rate from Blazing Alarmus by Mr. Prospector. Bred in Florida by the Big C Farm and owned by Ralph C. Sessa. Trained by Richard Root and ridden to victory by Carlos Penalba. Blazing Rate covers the mile in 70 and 1:45 and 3. We're going to head to Laurel next, and Saturday's stakes feature the Martha Washington Breeders' Cup Stakes for 3-year-old fillies at a mile and a 16th on the turf. Let's head to Washington now and the Martha Washington.
Set. And they're off. Enter stage left was first to break away. Lucrezia on the outside, and here comes Victory Lap moving forward as well. Enter stage left settles in third, and Sweet Talker is up close now, but taken back about 3 to 4 lengths off the lead. Frost Princess going to be caught on the outside of that first turn run, and Crossway back there second to last, and Dynamite Lass is the trailer. So around that turn, and Lucrezia out there moving right along, opens up 2 lengths here. Lucrezia from Victory Lap is a well-placed second. Early enter stage left is in third. Frost Princess is in fourth. In the meantime, Sweet Talker guards that rail in just 3.5 to 4 lengths on the front. Crossier is about 5.5 off that lead, and Dynamite Lass in the back of a compact field in the Martha Washington Breeders' Cup Stakes. About 5 furlongs to go, and it's Lucrezia at a long shot price, leading it by a length and a half. Favored Victory Lap second. Sweet Talker inside third. Frost Princess enter stage left under a bit of urging in between horses. Only 3 lengths off the lead. Crossier has to quicken up now and about 6 on the front, and Dynamite Lass on the inside of Crossier is actually back to last position now. Around the far turn, Lucrezia still the long shot showing the way. Victory Lap on the outside as the pace quickens up now. Frost Princess, Sweet Talker, followed by enter stage left, and Dynamite Lass. Still last is Croisier. They're at the top of the stretch, a quarter of a mile left to run, and Victory Lap making that lead readily. Sweet Talker sweeping up off the inside now, and Sweet Talker on the outside coming to be the danger for Victory Lap. Enters Lucrezia on the inside, running a big one with 1 furlong to go, and Sweet Talker to the front. Lucrezia there, she's stubborn on the inside. Victory Lap is third, and Dynamite Lass is fourth. Sweet Talker quickest of them all. Sweet Talker darting the line a length and a half. Lucrezia's run a big one second, and Dynamite Lass was third, and Victory Lap fourth.
They invested a lot of money in this turf course, and they've had really favorable results as a result of the changes that have been made. The turf rail was set way out at 17 feet, and a nice trip here from Sweet Talker back off of a 3-month off layoff. She did win the Edgewood early in the season, finished on the board in all of her turf tries prior to this effort. Lucrezia, a nice effort, trying very hard after taking the command in the early going under Joe Bracco, unable to hold on. And Dynamite Lass, shipping in from New York for Kieran McLaughlin, made a huge rallying move. So you saw horses within this race rallying, stalking, and running well on the lead as well, indicative of the fact that this turf course has been playing very fair since it was installed earlier this season. The winner, Sweet Talker, a dark Bayer Brown 3-year-old daughter of Storm and Fever from another vegetarian by Stalwart, bred in Kentucky by Burton Jones and owned by Elia Khan. Trained by Helen Pitts, who is the former assistant to trainer Ken McPeak, who recently retired to enter the bloodstock world. Helen Pitts picking up her first 2 stakes victories of her career this weekend. We're going to see another one a little bit later on the program. Ridden to victory by Ryan Fogelsonger, Sweet Talker covers the mile in the 16th and 1:41 and 3. We're going to stay in the Mid-Atlantic, head to Monmouth, and Sunday's running of the City Zip for 3-year-old sprinters. Let's head to New Jersey, the running of the City Zip.
They're racing in the City Zip. Slow start for Easton. It's Concord's Edge going on to lead them early. Euro Code away running in second. Caribbean Cruiser came out third, just in behind the leaders, 2 lengths off of them. It's 2.5 to Who's the Cowboy, and Easton now going by Who's the Cowboy on the outside. Up the backstretch they go. Concord's Edge and Euro Code are right together. They ran a quarter in 21 2/5 seconds. Caribbean Cruiser stalking third, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Who's the Cowboy and Easton in the back of the pack. Around the far turn, Euro Code on the outside, trying to get away from Concord's Edge, and Caribbean Cruiser is coming up. He's now taken second and continues to charge. 2.5 farther back, and Who's the Cowboy taking off the rail begins to roll, and then it's Easton, a 43 4/2 mile into the stretch, and it's Euro Code in front by 2. Caribbean Cruiser, Who's the Cowboy, now second and coming on to the outside. Who's the Cowboy getting to Euro Code at the 16th pole, and Who's the Cowboy goes by Euro Code and wins the City Zip by a length. Euro Code was second, then came Caribbean Cruiser.
Who's the Cowboy and Eddie King rallying from off the pace in a short field. That's not always the easiest thing to do. As pace setter Concord's Edge gave him something to close into, he ended up winning by 1.5 lengths over Euro Code. New York bred Caribbean Cruiser stalking the pace in the early going as the 2-to-1 choice and settling for third. The winner, Who's the Cowboy, passing on a restricted New Jersey bred race in favor of this open company spot, is a 3-year-old bay gelding, a son of Intensity from Image's Image by Better Arbiter, bred in New Jersey by Carolyn Sleater and owned by Gerald Sleater, trained by Kevin Sleater and ridden to victory by Eddie King Jr. Who's the Cowboy covers the 6 furlongs at Monmouth in 109 flat. We're going to head to Chicago now for a pair of Saturday stakes races at Hawthorne, beginning with the Hawthorne Gold Cup, a 1.25 mile, $750,000 Grade 2 for older horses. Let's head to Chicago and the running of the Hawthorne Gold Cup.
They're off in the Hawthorne Gold Cup. And Lord of the Game came away quickly along the rail. Between horses, here's Desert Boom moving up. On the outside, Mambo Train is third. Super Frolic came away behind the top trio in fourth. Perfect Drift came away fifth. Then on the outside is Good Reward sixth. Fantastic Cat along the rail seventh. 3 lengths back to find Mambo Train in eighth. Homo Stars alongside that one. And that's Collateral Damage, followed by Homo Stars, and far, far back, just like last year, is Free for Internet. And around the first turn they go. On the outside, it's Desert Boom. On the inside, Lord of the Game. Desert Boom has the lead. Lord of the Game second. Ranging up on the outside to be third comes Mambo Train. Towards the inside, Super Frolic fourth, only 2 lengths behind the leader. Then in between horses, Perfect Drift. 3 wide, Good Reward. Towards the inside, Fantastic Cat. 2 more back to Home of Stars, followed by Collateral Damage. And Free for Internet is more than 1/8 of a mile away from the leader. 5/8 to run in the 69th running of the Hawthorne Gold Cup, and Desert Boom has the lead. Lord of the Game still battles on along the inside second. Super Frolic tracking third. Mambo Train losing a bit of ground fourth. Perfect Drift is fifth, 5 lengths from the leader. Fantastic Cat on the rails, 6. Good Reward far outside with Clear Sailing. Home of Stars between horses looking for Racing Room. Then it's Collateral Damage, and Free for Internet still far back. Final 3/8. Desert Boom on the outside. Lord of the Game's not finished, and he's fighting back. Super Frolic coming on 3 wide. Perfect Drift is fourth. Around the turn, they're in the stretch. Lord of the Game coming back on the inside. Lord of the Game has the lead. Desert Boom in between horses second. Super Frolic on the outside third. Perfect Drift now coming on fourth. Home of Stars to the outside fifth. Final furlong. Here comes Super Frolic. Lord of the Game digging down. Desert Boom between horses. Far back and forth is Perfect Drift. It's Super Frolic with the lead. Lord of the Game still there. Super Frolic and Lord of the Game in a tight photo. Desert Boom was fourth. Perfect Drift fifth. The 69th running of the Hawthorne Gold Cup.
The rains came, it was a sloppy racetrack, and Super Frolic and Lord of the Game both seemed to really take to the surface, showing good early speed just off of pace setter Desert Boom, and it's a head separating the two of them, with Super Frolic getting the victory on the outside over a game Lord of the Game with 6-to-1 long shot or mid-priced horse, Desert Boom picking up the third spot. Perfect Drift, very disappointing in here. He ran about 6th most of the way around, made up a little bit of ground on the turn, but according to rider Mark Guidry, he was having some trouble with the surface. He was the odds-on choice and certainly looked to be the best horse in this field. However, It was clear he wasn't handling the racetrack all the way and did not really get persevered with all that effectively by Mark Guidry. He ended up settling for fourth. Not a bad performance at all, but certainly not what was expected from the odds-on choice in here. The winner, Super Frolic, coming off of a disappointing performance last time out in the Pacific Classic, where he finished fifth, well behind Perfect Drift that afternoon, obviously handling this racetrack very well. The winner, Super Frolic, is a 5-year-old chestnut son of Pine Bluff from Lindsay Frolic by Mount Livermore, bred in Kentucky by the Cherokee Farm and owned by Millennium Farm. Trained by Vladimir Sarin and ridden to victory by Victor Espinoza, Super Frolic covers the 1.25 miles in the slop in Chicago in 2:04 and 3. Despite the rains, they were still able to run the Robert F. Carey Memorial, a Grade 3 on the turf, later on in the card at Hawthorne on Saturday afternoon, $150,000 mile on the grass. Let's head back to Chicago and the running of the Carey.
They're off in the Carey Memorial. Old Deuteronomy left for the lead. Up on the outside, here comes Wimpelstiltskin as they go under the finish wire for the first time. Old Deuteronomy has the lead. Wimpelstiltskin on the outside second. Spruce Run came away third. Gondolieri came away fourth. Major Rhythm on the inside. Alongside that one is GP Fleet. Then towards the inside, Remind, followed by Just See James and the early trailer, Fort Prado. Fields covered by 7, less than 6 furlongs to go. They begin their journey on the backstretch on the turf course listed as good. Old Deuteronomy leads by 3/4 of a length. Wimpelstiltskin tracking from second, Spruce Run third. Gondolieri with clear sailing on the outside fourth. Major Rhythm tucked in along the rail fifth. GP Fleet is 6 lengths behind the leader. Fort Prado trying to get in between horses, now looking for racing room. Just See James on the outside, and Remind has been shuffled to last. They're well bunched as they move around the far turn. Old Deuteronomy keeps the lead. Wimpelstiltskin on the outside second. Spruce Run is third. Gondolieri on the outside fourth. Far outside, GP Fleet hustling up fifth. Major Rhythm, no place to go, sixth. Fort Prado also looking for racing room. They come off the turn and straighten away. On the outside, Wimpelstiltskin. Towards the inside, Old Deuteronomy. Gondolieri between horses. Fort Prado now with clear sailing, and Spruce Run is moving between horses. Here comes Fort Prado. Going right with them is Spruce Run. Fort Prado takes the lead. Spruce Run. Here comes Remind from far back. It's Fort Prado, Spruce Run on the inside. Spruce Run gets up to win the Carey Memorial. It was Spruce Run by a neck over Fort Prado second, Remind third. I think Wimpelstiltskin may have held fourth in the Carey Memorial from Hawthorne.
The surface was listed as good, but it may have been a little softer than that as the rains did continue to fall throughout the afternoon. But Spruce Run clearly liked it, whatever the surface was. It favored him very nicely, getting a neck victory, splitting horses. A nice effort under Rex Stokes III. This was his second win since being teamed up with this rider. Fort Prado, the favorite, a solid effort to finish third. Remind rallying from far back off the pace. Fort Prado to run second from off the pace, as Remind also rallied quite nicely to finish in the third spot. Obviously, the only horse that was anywhere close to the pace and holding on well was, in fact, the eventual winner, Spruce Run. Spruce Run is a 7-year-old chestnut son of Reprise from Spruce Luck by Big Spruce. He was bred by Marcetta in Kentucky, owned by the Golden Dome stable, and trained by Linda Rice. Ridden to victory by Rex Stokes III. Spruce Run covers the mile on the turf course listed as good, perhaps a little softer, in 1:39 and 4. We're going to pause now for a brief commercial message, and when we return, we'll be heading to Kentucky for an exciting weekend's worth of racing action from Kentucky Downs and Turfway Park. Please stay with us.
And finally, in sports tonight, billboards in Kentucky, welcoming you to the horse capital of the world, New York. How's that? Well, it's a marketing campaign to get Kentuckians to rally behind their horse industry. Folks down in the bluegrass must be getting a little worried, a little squeamish, a little verklempt over the incredible achievements of thoroughbreds bred right here in New York. Hey, don't worry, Kentucky. At least you still have a Derby.
The New York Breeding and Racing Program just keeps getting bigger and better. In 2005, registered New York breds will compete for a record $45 million in purses and incentives. And speaking of records, last year, New York breds won 40 open stakes, including Funnyside in the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup. Funny Side has won. People from all walks of life, from all sports, are getting with the program. Shouldn't you?
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now in Kentucky, beginning at Turfway Park, where on Saturday their stakes featured in the afternoon was the Marfa for older sprinters, 6.5 furlongs. Let's head down to Turfway, the running of the Marfa.
Post. And they're off for the lead with Distinction and Corbin Gold from the inside. Up on the outside, Private Horde. Deer Lake is next. Length back to Elusive Jazz, then Esprit du Roy, followed by Sterling Gold, and the early trailer Level Playing Field on the run down the back stretch. Corbin Gold the leader. Now a length over with Distinction second by a half. On the outside, Private Horde runs a third, gap of 2. Deer Lake fourth ahead, Elusive Jazz is fifth. 3 more back to Esprit du Roy, followed by Sterling Gold, and Level Playing Field trails after a first quarter in 22-1. The leader, Corbin Gold, now by 2 lengths. With Distinction second ahead. On the outside, Private Horde runs third. Deer Lake is fourth. Elusive Jazz from the inside is fifth. Gap of 5 back to Sterling Gold. Level Playing Field now moves up. Down the stretch, Corbin Gold in front. On the outside with Distinction. Then it's Elusive Jazz. Level Playing Field is flying between horses. Here comes Level Playing Field. Level Playing Field comes from last, gets up to win the Marfa under Johnny McKee. Photo for second. Corbin Golden with Distinction.
The pace was brisk on the polytrack surface here, and it set it up nicely for Level Playing Field to make a last to first winning move by 3/4 of a length under John McKee, getting the victory over Corbin Gold and the favored with Distinction, who sat just off that pace, and a fairly sharp one it was. We've seen relatively slow times on that polytrack surface thus far this season, but 44.90, a very brisk early fraction here, setting it up nicely for the off-the-pace move by a horse that won the Kentucky Cup Sprint last year at this track, albeit on the main dirt track before they installed that polytrack surface. Level Playing Field is a dark bay or brown 4-year-old gelding, a son of Level Sands from Cheo Praya by Gold Legend, bred in Kentucky by Breland Farm and Mrs. Stacy L. Mitchell. Owned by the Fly Racing Limited and trained by Bob Holthus, ridden to victory by John McKee. A Level Playing Field covers the 6.5 furlongs on that polytrack surface in 1:17 flat. We're going to head now to Kentucky Downs in Kentucky, obviously, where they ran the Kentucky Cup turf races for this season last Saturday. They got the day kicked off with the Yakthan Stakes. This, of course, named after one of the early success stories at Turfway Park. For older horses going a mile on the turf, let's head down to Kentucky Downs and the Yakthan.
Off and running in the Yakthan, way up by broke right on top and takes charge early, joined by Miss Me down along the inside up into the second spot. Everything to gain third. BA Way fourth. Tempered Steel moves up between horses in fifth now, and Seeking Answers is 3.5 off the pace, racing 6 by a couple more to bail out the King. At the back of the pack, the gray Romney Marsh the trailer. Up the hill to the crest of the rise they go, and it's Miss Me leading the way, a neck in front, way up high, right there pressing the pace in second, far outside. Everything to gain, racing in third. Tempered Steel splits horses, racing in fourth. BA Way gains up 3 wide in fifth by a couple more to bail out the King, and a gap of 7 back to long shot Romney Marsh at the back of the pack. Down the dip and around the turn they go, stride for stride up front now. It's Miss Me leading it just ahead in front, and right there pressured high by Everything to Gain, racing in the second spot. BA Way is a far outside. Tempered Steel splitting horses with Miss Me down along the inside, and on the outside comes Way Up High, and a gap of 5 farther back now to bail out the King. A dozen farther back to long shot Romney Marsh as they wind around the turn to the top of the lane. It's Way Up High with 3/8 to go, leading it by a neck to the outside. Here comes Everything to Gain to challenge on the outside. Tempered Steel cutting the corner. Miss Me down along the inside is next now. Far outside, BA Way kicks it into high gear down to the final furlong to go. It's wide open. Miss Me with a short lead. Seeking Answers gets the rail run way up high on the outside, and Tempered Steel, Seeking Answers getting through under Bejarano to take the lead. Seeking Answers drawing clear late. Seeking Answers wins the Yakthon by a length and a half. Miss Me second, Tempered Steel third, and Way Up High.
Seeking Answers, last seen in Allowance Company here at Saratoga, picking up the 2-length victory as the favorite from off the pace. A nice effort under Rafael Bejarano, who absolutely has owned this Kentucky Cup course for the last couple of seasons. Miss Me, a very nice effort to just miss by 2. Tempered Steel, 6-1 shot in here, sat back off the pace, made a 4-wide bid, but was not able to continue that rally through the stretch. The winner, Seeking Answers, is a bay 4-year-old son of Shinko Forest from Lady at War by Warning. Bred in Ireland by Larry Ryan and owned by Stella Thayer, trained by Chuck Simon and ridden to victory by Rafael Bejarano. Seeking Answers completes the flat mile, earning his first stakes victory in 1:37 and 4. We're going to continue now with Kentucky Cup action with the Kentucky Cup Turf Dash for older sprinters on the grass. Let's head back down to Kentucky Downs and the running of the dash.
Off and running in the Kentucky Cup Turf Dash. Fast start for Durbin Thunder to the front, joined by Superfuse up the inside. El Capriccio, flashing speed, racing third. Atticus Christie, Sergeant Burt comes up now to Searing, gaining up 4 wide to the outside, and So Gifted. Superfuse backs off the trail with Premier Performer down the dip and around the turn. El Capriccio and Craig Perrette nearly a length in front. Sergeant Burt on the outside turns up the pressure from second. Atticus Christie splits horses third. Durbin Thunder fourth to Searing on the outside, 3 wide fifth. So Gifted 6 off the pace now, 3 back to Premier Performer, and Superfuse at the back of the pack around the turn with 3 furlongs to go. El Capriccio headed now by Atticus Christie on the outside, who takes a short lead. Premier Performer, Sergeant Burt in between horses. Here comes to Searing on the extreme outside, and up the fences, Durbin Thunder down to the final furlong and a half to go. To Searing, cuts it loose on the far outside. Atticus Christie with a short advantage up the inside. Durbin Thunder comes on, and Sergeant Burt digs in. Durbin Thunder charging up the fence. Atticus Christie on the outside. Durbin Thunder, Atticus Christie, Durbin Thunder, and Calvin Burrell. Durbin Thunder by a head in the Kentucky Cup Turf Dash. That Atticus Christie second is tight for the show.
Durbin Thunder, a pretty exciting stretch run here as Durbin Thunder in a typical inside Cal Burrell move, getting ahead victory, and it was tight in there. Burrell is known for those kind of positions, riding very well down on the rail, particularly on the turf. In fact, was quoted after the race as saying, "The rail is a little bent," as Durbin Thunder and Atticus Christie did come into contact more than once throughout the running of the stretch drive. They ended up finishing in that order with Superfuse rallying from off the pace into the 3rd spot. Disappointing was to Searing, who was coming in off of a series of nice efforts in sprint turf company. Little bit disappointing here. Perhaps this rather quirky course not to his liking. The winner, Durbin Thunder, is a 4-year-old bay colt, a son of Royal Academy from Fosse Mané by Gadir. He was bred in Brazil by Fazenda Mondesir and is owned by Stud Raka, trained by Helen Pitts. This was actually, chronologically speaking, her first stakes victory as a trainer. Durbin Thunder, ridden to victory by Cal Burrell, covers the 6 furlongs at Kentucky Downs in 1:10 flat. Next up, the Kentucky Cup Ladies Turf. 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares going a mile on the turf course. Let's head back to Kentucky Downs and the Ladies Turf.
Off and running in the Kentucky Cup Ladies Turf. Gamble to victory, sprung out on top. Juliet's Kiss is flashing early speed right there. Racing second, Medina Bay came away a close-up third. Miss Wellspring fourth. Strike Me Lucky is fifth. Fast Cookies racing sixth, just 2.5 lengths off the pace now. Air Capers on the far outside. Then Kalen's Rose second last, and Tisket to Tasket is the early trailer. Up the hill to the crest of the rise they go with 3 across the track here, and Juliet's Kiss along the inside with a head in front. Miss Wellspring right there pressing the pace in second, and to the outside Strike Me Lucky gains up to take the 3rd spot now, and in behind that comes Fast Cookie cutting the quarter in 4th. Gamble to victory on the outside racing in 5th. Air Caper gains up 3 wide from the 6th position now, and behind that Kalen's Rose is gaining up 3 wide and 2 back to Tisket to Tasket at the back of the pack. Down the dip and around the turn, Miss Wellspring, and Rafael Bejarano. A length and a half in front. Strike Me Lucky and Calvin Burrell. Inching up to tackle second. Gamble to Victory comes again third. Juliet's Kiss down along the inside is racing in fourth. Kalen's Rose loops up on the extreme outside, and Fast Cookie is looking for a seam in between fillies as they wind around the turn to the top of the lane. Miss Wellspring with a neck in front. Strike Me Lucky's racing second. Gamble to Victory kicks it in on the far outside. Up the inside, Kalen's Rose is gaining good ground with their caper. Down to the final furlong. Medina Bay up the inside, and Juliet's Kiss. Final furlong they come. Medina Bay along the inside, but Miss Wellspring still digs in, and Juliet's Kiss along the inside rail. Miss Wellspring is seen for Fast Cookie, closing ground late. Miss Wellspring, Juliet's Kiss. Miss Wellspring wins it by a neck to Juliet's Kiss. Fast Cookie third in spring season in the Kentucky Cup Ladies Turf.
Miss Wellspring and Rafael Bejarano, yet another victory for Rafael, this time on the front end. This is a horse that's done most of her best running from off the pace, allowed to go off at 10.5 to 1, and wins it from gate to wire over Juliet's Kiss, 24 to 1 outsider in the field, with Fast Cookie in from out of town to run third from well off the pace. Interestingly enough, the top two choices in here ran second and third only 1 week prior in the Pleasant Temper Stakes right here at Kentucky Downs. Obviously, both of these fillies having good experience over this racing surface, and it is a quirky racing surface, obviously one that's rather unique here in the American racing scene. The winner, Miss Wellspring, is a chestnut 4-year-old daughter of Afternoon Delights from Enjoy the View by L'Enjoulour. Bred in Kentucky by Brereton Jones, owned by John Eaton and Steve Lehman, trained by Greg Foley, and ridden to victory by Rafael Bejarano. Miss Wellspring covers the mile in Kentucky Downs in 1:39 and 1. Kentucky Cup Turf next up, a Grade 3 $200,000 mile and a half on the grass. Let's head back down to Kentucky in the Kentucky Cup Turf.
All in line. Off and running in the Kentucky Cup Turf. A good even start. Pellegrino, Silverfoot, Habaneros up the inside. Scooter Roach flashing early speed as well. Joined by Apple O'Dale, who's wrangled back by Joe Diggin. At the back, Gallo Del Bar and Rochester. Flashing past the stands, a lap to go. Habaneros and Larry Melanson nice and easy. A length in front of Scooter Roach racing second. Pellegrino settles down at the rail third. Rayon's in fourth. Rochester 3 wide in fifth. Apple O'Dale's forced to go wide around that opening turn. And behind that comes Gallo Del Bar. Silverfoot saving every inch of ground into Rafael Bejarano on that first turn. Habanero showing the way, opening up quickly by 2.5 now on Scooter Roach, who's tracking from the outside, racing second. Silverfoot along the inside third. Rayon splitting horses fourth. Rochester moves up on the outside from fifth, up into this slow pace. Pellegrino's right there up the inside. A close-up third now, Pellegrino, then it's Apple O'Dale, and Gallo Del Bar's moving up quickly in traffic. Up the hill they go. It's Habaneros and Larry Melanson now a neck in front. There was Gallo Del Bar rushing up and picking up the pace to the outside. 3 wide comes Scooter Roach racing in third. On the inside, Pellegrino inching up into contention, fourth by a couple more. Silverfoot down on the inside in striking range with just over 6 furlongs to go now. A length and a half on the back to Apple O'Dale at the back of the pack with Rochester as they go down the dip and into the far turn. It's still Habaneros. Pressure all the way from Gallo Del Bar on the outside. Scooter Roach is racing third by a length and a half more. Rochester in the fourth spot. Pellegrino down on the inside racing fifth. And now the gray Silverfoot is tipped off the fence to commence his rally. Rayon next to his inside. And a gap of 7 back to Apple O'Dale, who's at the back of the pack as they wind around the turn. Gallo Del Bar by a neck now. Scooter Roach is attacking the long shot on the outside second. Habaneros comes under pressure third. The old veteran Rochester racing fourth. Pellegrino on the inside. Silverfoot trying to stoke up a rally on the far outside, and Rayon as they wind around the turn to the top of the lane. They turn for home. Gallo Del Bar shaken up by Orlando Mojica. Here comes the old warhorse Rochester down the center of the track. Rochester striking the front, and Silverfoot finds a seam down along the inside from the back of the pack. Habaneros. Rochester. Here comes Silverfoot. Silverfoot with a burst of energy takes the lead and draws away. Silverfoot and Rafael Bejarano impressively in the Kentucky Cup Turf by a winding 4. Rochester is always a game. Second, Gallo Del Bar and Rayon.
Silverfoot, last seen disappointing up here in the Sword Dancer. Prior to that, a very good second to Better Talk Now in the United Nations Handicap. Broke fairly nicely, was eased back gradually, and made a nice rallying move to a romping 6 3/4 length favorite victory over Rochester, the two-time winner of this race. And Rochester, at the age of 9, continues to run enormously good races. He is a very, very good racehorse, perhaps one of the least noticed of the very capable horses currently in training right now. He's been around forever. Always seems to run a good one. Gallo Del Bar at 20-1 completes the order of the top 3 after being well placed early. He dragged his rider right up to the into contention, perhaps a little bit too early. Obviously, not the most well-timed move, but sometimes when the horse says you're going to go, you're going to go. And Gallo Del Bar ended up paying the price as he settles for 3rd. The winner, Silverfoot, a gray roan 5-year-old son of With Approval from Northern Silver by Silver Ghost, was bred in Kentucky by Stephanie S. Clark, owned by the Chrysalis Stable and trained by Dallas Stewart. Ridden to victory by who else? Rafael Bejarano. Silverfoot covers the 1.5 miles at Kentucky Downs in 2:30-1. We are going to pause now for one more brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading north of the border to Canada as well as out to California, back home to New York. Please stay with us.
The new self-service terminals are now available at the Albany Teletheater. Let's see how they work. First, you must obtain a Capital Cash card from an agent. You swipe the card and then enter the temporary PIN found on the back. After entering your given PIN, you must enter a PIN of your own. To make a bet, you must first select the track, followed by wager amount, bet type, and runners. After completing your bet, be sure to press Issue Wager. The Power Tool is a great way to see up-to-date payouts on wagers you may want to make. To watch a race on the full screen, simply touch the screen. When you are leaving the terminal, be sure to hit Finish to log out of the system. These new self-service terminals are available at only one place in the Capital District, and it's at the Albany Teletheater, 711 Central Avenue.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now in Canada, where on Saturday the stakes feature was the La Lorgnette Stakes. This for 3-year-old fillies at 1.16 miles. Let's head to Canada, the running of the La Lorgnette.
They're off in the La Lorgnette Stakes, and Roving Angel broke in the air. But the gray broke quickly. Coastal Fortress for the early lead. Another gray, El Runaways coming on in between Horses and Warm Rain has control of the fence as they head to the 7/8 pole. And it's Warm Rain down on the inside and now Runaway on the outside. Those two through the turn. Coastal Fortress clear of trouble on the outside, 3rd, tucked in nicely behind Horses. Long Shot Simply Again. Roving Angel just 3.5 lengths off the lead, and trailing to the backstretch Diddy Cheatham and Howe. And it's Warm Rain who will play Catch Me If You Can as they come to the 5/8 pole. Corey takes a peek back. Just off her flank is El Runaway in second. Another gray, Coastal Fortress, out there 3 wide and just 1 3/4 lengths off the lead. Simply Again still tucked in behind Horses. Roving Angel takes over 4th and 3 lengths off the lead. They got an opening 1/2 mile in 46 3. It is Warm Rain, but El Runaway is breathing down her throat now with 3 furlongs to go. El Runaway joins Warm Rain for the run through the turn. Out there 3 wide, Cable has Coastal Fortress in a contending position, and Coastal Fortress has accelerated to the lead at the quarter pole. Roving Angel has put the pressure. Warm Rain and El Runaway are both trying to find some more. It is Coastal Fortress into the stretch. Coastal Fortress by a length. Roving Angel plugging away on the outside, but Coastal Fortress has things in control. Final 16th of a mile, a superb effort by Coastal Fortress to win the La Lorgnette. Coastal Fortress by 3, Roving Angel second, and Simply Again was third.
Saturday's stakes feature comes up with a 6-horse field and a 2 3/4 length victory by Coastal Fortress. A nice effort from just off the pace, in fact, picking up the win. A local horse and an Ontario bred, in fact, getting the advantage over Open Company here. Roving Angel picking up the 3rd spot is Simply Again rallies nicely in a 4-wide move to get into contention at almost 40-1. She was able to make a solid rally before fading a little bit to finish 3rd. The winner, Coastal Fortress, is a Greyer Roan 3-year-old daughter of Seawall from Castlemania by Bold Ruckus, bred in Ontario by the Minshall Farm and owned by the breeder, trained by Barbara Minshall and ridden to victory by Todd Cable. Coastal Fortress covers the mile in a 16th at Woodbine in 1:45 flat. We're going to head right back up to Woodbine, and Sunday stakes feature the Swinford for 2-year-olds running 7 furlongs. Let's head back to Woodbine, the running of the Swinford.
They're off in the Swinford Stakes. And Bellado Dancer broke on top. Bellado Dancer immediately takes the lead, but here comes Run. Justin Run through on the inside, takes over 2nd. Back in 3rd is Brighton Golden, and Bear Character is 4th, 4 lengths off the lead of the pace setter, and that would be Bellado Dancer as they exit the chute and hit the main track. And Patrick Husbands has Bellado Dancer well off the rail. Run Justin Run is 2nd, the opening quarter in 22 3. Bear Character comes on the outside 3rd, and Brighton Golden is 4th. Bellado Dancer hard held and in front. Bellado Dancer by a half a length. Run Justin Run is 2nd. Bear Character getting a little nudge there as they head into the turn. Back in 4th position is Brighton Golden. And they got a half mile in 45 seconds flat. Bellado Dancer still cruising out there on the lead. Bellado Dancer hasn't really been asked yet. They're inside the quarter pole. Run Justin Run's being hard ridden. Bear Character comes on the outside now. They're into the stretch. Bellado Dancer is called on for Run. Bear Character plugs away on the outside. It is Bellado Dancer who is set down to the top of the stretch and is trying to fend off Bear Character. Bear Character is coming on. Bear Character has caught Bellado Dancer. Bear Character to win the Swinford. Bellado Dancer 2nd and Brighton Golden 3rd.
Bear Character, nice victory here over a short field by a half-length game effort over Bellado Dancer, with Bright and Golden back in the 3rd spot as the favorite. Bear Character was hustled along on the backstretch and made a very solid move, determined effort in a hard-fought win here under Jim McElhenney. Bear Character is a two-year-old bay gelding, a son of Dixie Union from 40 Love by 49er, bred in Kentucky by Robert David Randall, owned by the Bear Stable, trained by Dale Greenwood, and ridden to victory by Jim McElhenney. Bear Character runs the 7 furlongs at the Swinford at Woodbine in 1:23 4. We're going to head out to California now. Northern California at Bay Meadows on Saturday. They ran the California Turf Sprint Championship, 5 furlongs on the grass. Let's head to Bay Meadows and the Sprint Championship.
And there they go. And it's a beautiful beginning, and Greeny on the comeback bid is very quick. And here's Exceeding. He's been sharp since returning to the races, and Abuse of Power wants to run with them. I'm going to Tonko and 10th Street. McManus is outside of Are You Talking to Me? And at the back is Bonfante with 6 to make up. And Exceeding now finds the front. Greeny runs with him, and they're side by side at the 3/8. Abuse of Power, 10th Street, and Tonko share 3rd with more than 3 to make up. Bonfante committed to a very wide run, but he is closing. McManus gets a ground-saving trip. He has just under 5 to make up. And I'm going to Are You Talking to Me, trying to swing into the scene. Top of the lane in the California Turf Sprint Championship. Exceeding has put away Greeny, but here come the closers. Bonfante to the outside, and McManus up the rail. Far outside is Are You Talking to Me? Exceeding keeps on running. Are You Talking to Me? Bonfante, and to the rail, McManus. They're all chasing Exceeding, and Exceeding wins the money. Exceeding wins the California Turf Sprint Championship. He was away for a long time, but he has rattled off successive scores. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th involving Bonfante, McManus, and Are You Talking to Me?
Exceeding. Chance Rollins 12-1, getting the victory by 2 in a sharp effort, tussling earlier with Greeny, who was one of the choices in the field, the 2nd choice in the wagering. But a lot of people would have assumed that Greeny would have been the one to go on with it, but it was exceeding to go on by 2 over Bonfante with McManus back in the 3rd spot. The winner exceeding, a dark bay or brown gelded 5-year-old son of In Excess from Ms. Something by Something Lucky, was bred in California by the Double Bar S Ranch, owned by the breeder and trained by John Martin, ridden to victory by Chance Rollins. Exceeding covers the 5 furlongs at Bay Meadows on that turf course in 56 and 4. We're going to head back to New York now for a trio of stakes races, beginning with the Grade 3 Noble Damsel for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares at a mile on the turf on Saturday. Let's head to Belmont, the running of the Noble Damsel.
And they're off. Stumbling at the break there was Lentil. And it's Fortunate Damsel racing from the lead from her inside post. Path of Thunder is away second. Give Me More is out racing third. Humoristic on the far outside is fourth. Lentil the Gray steady to bid in behind horses. Fifth. Bright Abundance is sixth and very close to the pace on the inside. My Lordship is seventh, only 3 lengths from the lead. Stupendous Miss threads away through and between horses from 8th position. The Gray Cloak of Vagueness is now 9th, but she's only about 5 lengths from the front. Sabelina is 10th. Asti is 11th on the inside. And a break of another 6 or 7 back to River Bell, who lags behind. 23 and 4 was that tepid first quarter here. Down the back stretch, now 3 of them heading for that far turn together. Path of Thunder between horses. Lentil on the outside. Fortunate Damsel on the rail. Bright Abundance on the inside is 4th. The favorite, My Lordship, right there in between horses, 5th. Give Me More, 6th on the outside. The half went in 46 and 3. Humoristic is 7th and beginning to advance on the far outside. Stupendous Miss is 8th. Asti 9th toward the inside. Cloak of Vagueness is still 10th. Farther back in the field are Sabelina and River Bell, the trailer. They're coming to the top of the stretch. And it is Fortunate Damsel still there, but Path of Thunder is right there with her. Bright Abundance switched to the outside for the run into the last furlong. Humoristic is coming down the center of the race course. My Lordship is in between horses. Stupendous Miss toward the inside. Asti trying to find her way through now. Down to the final 16th, and Bright Abundance has come away with the lead. Path of Thunder, here's My Lordship, final try. Asti toward the rail, down to the finish, and Bright Abundance wins. My Lordship second, Asti third, Path of Thunder fourth.
Bright Abundance, a nice victory here over a game, My Lordship, who kept on trying. Bright Abundance able to hold her off. Asti also rallying well from off the pace, a very capable filly, moving up from Allowance Company, one who perhaps a little bit of temperament problem, keeping for her from running her very best on occasion. But she was no match for the winner. Bright Abundance, a very impressive performance, up close early, wide into the stretch, and prevailing by a half length at just under 7-1. The winner, Bright Abundance, a bay 4-year-old daughter of Quiet American from Quality Gift by Last Tycoon, was bred in Kentucky by Gainsborough Farm Limited, owned by John and Sarah Kelly, Don and Joan Simple, and Joan and Jim Wiltz, trained by Chris Clement, ridden to victory by Richie Migliori. Bright Abundance runs the mile on the Belmont turf in 1:33 and 4. We're going to head into Sunday's stakes features. 2 races for the New York Breds, beginning with the Bertram F. Bongard for 2-year-old New York State Breds. Let's head back to Belmont, the running of the Bongard.
And they're off. Raw Cat, Sharp Humor, and Speed of Sound. And it's Raw Cat short lead, Speed of Sound second on the outside, Sharp Humor right up there third. On the far outside, it's Metro Meteor, followed by Trading Pro and Parkham on Broadway. Parkham on Broadway, the 3-5 favorite, is the trailer in the early furlongs here. And it's Sharp Humor taking the field toward the far turn, knocked off a quarter there in 22 3/5 seconds. Raw Cat is now second. Speed of Sound on the outside is now third. And then it's Trading Pro fourth. Bottled up on the fence is Parkham on Broadway. Right alongside him, it's Metro Meteor. Around the far turn, Sharp Humor still in front. Raw Cat still second. Speed of Sun on the outside third. Trading Pro is fourth. And now Pablo Fragoso will take Parkham on Broadway to the outside for some running room. And here they come now. And now the field turns for home. Sharp Humor, the leader at the top of the stretch. Parkham on Broadway came around the field on the outside, and he's coming down the center of the track to take on Sharp Humor, who's still going strongly, and Trading Pro is third. Sharp Humor in front. On the inside, Trading Pro. On the outside, Parkham on Broadway. And they're coming down to the line, and it's going to be Sharp Humor and Trading Pro. Sharp Humor won it by a half a length. Trading Pro was second. Parkham on Broadway managed third.
Sharp Humor, very impressive in his career debut at Belmont Park, returning to Belmont after trying the first Samurai allowance race at Saratoga, then the New York Breeders' Futurity at Finger Lakes. Here goes off at 8-1. Perhaps the only cue that this horse was really ready to run a big one was the fact that Edgar Prado was going to get back aboard. Won by 3/4 of a length on the front end from the late running long shot Trading Pro, with the favored Park Him on Broadway off a 10-length maiden special weight victory up here at Saratoga, finishing third. The winner, Sharp Humor, is a bay 2-year-old son of Distorted Humor from Bologna by Hansel, bred in New York by Patricia S. Purdy, owned by the Perdidell stable and trained by Dale Romans, ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. Sharp Humor covers the 7 furlongs of the Bertram F. Bongard in 124-1. We're going to head right back down to New York now in the running of the Joseph A. Gimma for New York-bred 2-year-old fillies.
And they're off. Zippy Missy away first. Fly to Me down toward the inside. Toward the outside, Arctic Express comes on through. And Curtana's right there as well with No Reason. Moving up the backstretch, Artistic Express. In front by a neck. On the inside, Fly to Me is second. Curtana is third. Zippy Missy is fourth. Wampum and Doll Baby are running fifth and sixth. No Reason. No Reason is 4-5 wide, moving into the far turn. Now running seventh. And Mama Teresa toward the inside. Mount Langfear and 3 lengths back to Will She Fire. Around the far turn, 22-3 was that opening quarter. It's Curtana, and it's Fly to Me and Arctic Express going head-to-head for the lead. Zippy Missy is third. Curtana is fourth. And Jerry Bailey has been very busy on No Reason, but there's no real response yet from No Reason. They're coming to the top of the stretch. Artistic Express at the outside and Fly to Me at the rail. Zippy Missy not far behind in third. Off the turn into the stretch. Fly to Me and Artistic Express. Artistic Express by neck. Fly to Me is second. Zippy Missy is third. And Curtana is fourth. They're in the final furlong. And it's Arctic Express with that lead. Zippy Missy, final try on the outside. Fly to Me at the rail. Artistic Express wins it by 1.25 lengths. Fly to Me is second. Zippy Missy was third. And Curtana was fourth.
Artistic Express, another long shot. In fact, the superfecta here coming back over $67,000 with long shots galore in the top 4 spots as Artistic Express makes her record 2 for 2. She broke her maiden at Saratoga in the slop, comes back here on a fast track and shows that her slop performance was no fluke with her second career victory and her second lifetime outing. Fly to Me, tracking that winner every step of the way, having to settle for second. Zippy Missy runs third just about every step of the way at 36-1. I have to imagine that the riders on the closers who had taken a fair amount of money in this race were all just assuming that these long shots were going to come back to them. In fact, the top 4 finishers ran 1, 2, 3, 4 every step around the racetrack. The winner, Artistic Express, is a 2-year-old chestnut daughter of Western expression from Dancing Merrily by Nureyev, bred in New York by Chester and Mary Broman, owned by the breeders, trained by Ramon Mike Hernandez, and ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. Artistic Express covers the 7 furlongs of the Joseph A. Gimma at Belmont in 126-1. That's going to wrap up a busy edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you for joining us. We hope you'll be able to join us once again, as next week will be a very busy program, as a lot of the preps for the Breeders' Cup will be taking place on next weekend's weekend of racing, and of course reported on here on Horses and Courses. Until next week, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.